I'm glad you're here this day again, or whatever day you press and play. I'm glad. And I'm glad to know that you are working with me and following this YouTube channel, this YouTube channel. And I'm sure the information must be worthy or noteworthy. And I'm hoping that you will make a comment, send an email, nationmind2021@gmail.com. And I want you to know that this broadcast is for you. It's about addressing the issues that are really relevant to our lives and our living. And this month, I'm just looking at the end of year, how end of year treats us. And today, I want to talk about family. We talked about you last time. What about me? But I want to talk about family. What about family? What does that mean? Well, I want to ask the question, where have they been? If I could start there. I know there is family. There's always family. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, you name it. There's community people, neighbors, they're all family. But somehow, between January and November, where are they? How often do I see them? Do they need me? Do I need them? When it comes to end of year, hey, we seem to make a great fuss and many plans about getting together, basically maybe for Christmas Day or that Christmas week. And it's so important that if we don't address this or don't agree, we're all in conflict and arguments and hullabaloos, as they would say. So I want to see if you can be, helped with family who you don't see for the whole year, but they want to see you at Christmas. How does that relate to you? How do you interpret connectivity? And I want to understand how it's important for you to work out that connectivity with pride or with joy. It's important to know that we have to be sensitive to the fact that there is the displacing, of course, from the family of origin. We get married or we leave home for university or for work, and we find our own space, and so therefore we create our own environment. We displace the whole family of origin, and we're here working it out. How is this new environment important for me? And I think we have to identify that it is necessary for me to handle this new environment. And of course, with that, it creates new movements. That means that you're going to have new friends, new identities, new colleagues, and therefore family is not going to be a priority anymore. Did I say that? Yeah, I think we have to be real about this. That when we live in Cleve, or when we go to universities, or when we leave home and rent an apartment somewhere that accommodates easier access to work, we find new friends, colleagues, and we have to learn how to mesh with them. So here we are, finding these new identities and not realizing that we are again further displacing family. Because you don't have time to go out with uncle, auntie, or cousin, or even to visit parents, because you are so now enthralled with your new fraternity. We go to Lime, we go into tennis, we go into the gym, we go to restaurants. We are just caught up now with this new paradigm. And it's important for us to really work that out, because it's not going to create only this new movements, but also different behaviors. We are going to find ourselves doing things differently, appropriating things differently, asking different questions, and having different belief systems. That is a crucial thing, because I used to do it that way, but now I do it this way. My family does it that way, but now I do it this way. So it starts off there when we work outside of the environment of our family, and we come into this new place where we are friends and colleagues, and we are not as connected as, and that connection is waning. And occasionally we call mommy or daddy. I will meet a cousin or auntie somewhere, but hey, end of year. So when it comes to end of year, what kind of response do we expect? Are we going to be just say, yes, come, I will, or now I have new friends saying, hey, let's do something different. So it's important for us to find out how do we negotiate this family arena, this family context. How do we work out the change in our cultures and our identities that are now being made a new norm, we have to learn how to accommodate the conversations to reduce stress, to reduce conflict among family members when there is a very definite expectation of what I need to do because it's year end. And I could even say because it's Christmas. But it's about the new invasion of what I represent. Is anybody hearing me? Is anybody saying that, okay, you have new friends and let's go there? How do I represent this new paradigm? What this home means now? It doesn't have parents in it. It doesn't have aunties and grannies. It just has me. Maybe I might be sharing a room or sharing the apartment, but it suddenly doesn't have family. My workplace, no family again. But I'm functional. I'm used. I'm established, and I'm going forward. So and my social platform is enlarged. I'm not just trapped with sisters and siblings and did I say that? Yeah, sister, siblings, and parents and family. Everything is, no, I have new identities that I am working with. So my interests, therefore, might have changed also in terms of what I do now. What I used to do is different than what I do now. So my personality is changing. How am I reconciling this new personality? How am I wanting to work out this thing? But it's year end. It's year end. I'm expected to be at the function, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, whatever day. Before that, I'm expected to maybe put a hand to clean somewhere, move somewhere, paint something. I am not into that anymore. Can I have that liberty to redefine my environment and maybe understand what family means to me? There's some issues about how will I fit? What will I do when we get together? How will I come into this space where, hey, I'm welcomed or not welcomed? Or let's say welcomed. So, what about my interpersonal context? Not me. No, I'm alone. I am. I don't want anybody to be around me right now. I'm fine. Oh, I want to share ideas with you. I want to have an interpersonal context. Oh, interpersonal? Yeah, but it's not with family anymore. I have a friend. I have friends. We going out this way. We going to here. But you don't have any feelings for us? You don't care about us anymore? I wonder. And what am I going to talk about? I have a whole new language. There's a whole new conversation that doesn't consist of who did and who in see and who tanty and no, it's a whole new thing that is really stimulating. And so therefore, with my new language, do you want to hear what I have to say? Especially if I'm going to university and I feel that everybody feels I am bougie now and I can't come down to the level. That would be so, but how do we interpret this conversation that helps us to go forward? We have to work out the expectations and outcomes of our family members. I cannot sit here and deny that they're real. They are real. They are very real. Very, very real. Mommy wants you, daddy wants you, granny wants you to be there. Who's going to cut the harm? You did for several years. Now you say you're not coming. Who brings this, the sorrel? Who is accustomed making the mayonnaise, potato salad? Hey, there are some things that you would have cultured or in the past, and now all of a sudden, because of your new environment, you can't do it. We have to look to see how we are redefining what I would want to call your job description. Can I really find somebody else who can cut the ham, or slice the turkey, or bring the drinks, or clean the house, or mend the furniture? Can we really find that job description and see that I have a new paradigm that I'm working with? I want to do something else. How could I eliminate the anxiety of change? Because there's going to be a fretfulness, and there's going to be talk now. Do you hear what he say? You know he's not coming. You know she's not coming. They have their own friends. Oh gosh, we're losing a son, we're losing a grandson. Hey, excuse me. We have to work out those anxieties. And how do we re-identify placements? How do I get people to do the job that I used to do? How do I get to find an uncle, an aunt, a cousin who will willingly substitute? People may think that nobody else but you can be there. Nobody else can carve a turkey like you, cut a ham like you. But we can train, and we can understand that, hey, people can have different gifts that we are bringing out here. One of the things about this too is about how do we reward? Do we need to reward, or is this it's a family thing? But some people it might be good in terms of redefining the objectives to say, okay, I could give you a gift, or I could take you out somewhere, or I could do something for you once you do this for me. Or you could give a monetary gift to show your appreciation of somebody taking your place, and not throwing off everybody, but really establishing candidly what the next step is. So it's important to appreciate how we are working this out. I must have a consciousness, as I said earlier, of the change. I'm not here to rip up the family. I'm not here to tell them that they shouldn't have a Christmas lamb and they shouldn't have the ginger beer and so, and I am going somewhere else. No. I have to learn to be as loving son or loving family member, and I have to learn how to be as professional as I can be in terms of how I redesign and reaffirm the next step. How innovative can I be to recreate some ideas for games or for times that would bring some purpose, or rather more fun, to the entire family? If I'm not going to be there, could I deposit something and say, look, I am doing this, I'm leaving this here for you. Could you attend to it? So we have to learn how to work out the intellectualism, not to show that you are just so bright, but you are engaging, very much engaging in what's happening. You have to learn how to be social and how to really maintain the camaraderie, and how to say, hey, this branch is nice, or I could say, I like the decor, or I like what I see behind. How can I make it real? How could I entertain each other and not be less social? And that is something we have to learn how to do. So I have got to be able to transform and build the whole scenario to identify the changes that are real. You know, I make a choice. I am making choices. I'm making a definite choice not to be disruptive, not to be conflictuous. I love my parents, I love my family. But it's a year end, and I have had for the last 11 months or so a whole different kind of year end. So what's now? I have to learn how to manage the conflict, manage the differences. I have to learn how to appropriate it and make sure that it is worthwhile what I do and what they do. That we don't seem to be clashing or seeming to be not caring for each other, but learning how to identify that what we are doing now, we are working out together. It's important for us to agree to engage. I must not just leave the situation and say, I don't care, whatever happens, happens. I'm in my space, they're in this space. No, no. I want to encourage you to have conversations. I want to encourage you to agree how to work this out. Let's have a talk. What should I do? What should I not do? How does it mean? As a matter of fact, we could just have a conversation saying, what does my not being here mean to you? How do you interpret that? Can I not be here? Can I go with my friends? We don't really connect except for once a year. Is that meaningful? Those conversations are really timely and it's very important for how we go forward. It's important for us to learn how to create new ideas, create new objectives, and come into that space where, hey, I do care, but the alternative is. And somehow we realize that as we talk, and the more we engage in conversation, we are going to have more finite results. It's important for us to really learn, therefore, at the end of it all, to accept the final resolve. But we can accept it today and change tomorrow. We can remember something that we didn't talk about and say, look, you see me? No. The conversation must go on. There must be that continual understanding that I want to resolve conflict. I want not to have the rest of my family upset during the celebrations while I am having a good merry time. I shared with you last evening some of the issues that I would have had in trying to find a Christmas outside of my country and how that impacted on my family. In hindsight, I wondered if I could have done it better. Should I have left maybe Christmas evening or Boxing Day and give them a day and have the rest of the week for myself? Or should I just decide that they must learn to work out their lives without me? Of course, I did the latter in terms of leaving them to redefine their space. Today, you wonder how that has impacted their lives in terms of realizing that I am gone. Am I ever going to come back to family? And so therefore, there are these uncertainties that we have to work out in terms of where we go next. I want to hold a hand. I want to be a part. I don't want to be left hanging, but I want it to be consensus. I want to know that my parents are agreeing, my other relatives are fine, and they are not just saying it's okay, but they are really identifying the concept of change and the identity as a family. I think that this conversation is important today because, as I said earlier, some of us don't see these family members until once a year. They don't check us out in a year. And we do want to have a connectivity, maybe monthly, maybe bi-monthly, but not just in December because it's Christmas, because we have a culture, a tradition that we want to satisfy. I think it's important for us to redefine what these cultures are and how we are doing better for tomorrow. It's important for us, therefore, to confirm that resolve by how we hold hands, by how we hug, by how we confer, how we conversate, how we communicate freely and willingly, knowing that we love each other. I say love. There's a caring. I don't think we definitely don't care. But how do we access successfully at this time without the rest of the year? So I want to help you to expand your concepts and try better, let's say make an effort to have connectivity throughout the year. So when it comes to December, it's not onerous and you don't feel alone, but you would have been patterning, you would have been creating patterns throughout the year of maybe to climax in December. Or you might have done something, say, let's do something in November rather than December. Can we do something at a random time, or maybe somebody's anniversary or birthday? So there's a lot of objectives that we can recreate. There's a lot of plans that we can identify with, knowing that we are going forward to bless our nation. So I hope that my Yuletide shirt encourages you to have a little excitement over the next couple of days and into next week when we celebrate when Christmas, It's interesting how mindful we can be at this time of family as against the other months. And I think that's because there's a universal culture that presses us into that. Don't try to resist that. Just learn to use it to make it better for yourself and for your own future. So I want you to have a good year end, and of course that will precipitate into a good year beginning. Remember that after this broadcast, we will not be having any broadcast during the month of January, but we will hit the first Monday in February. Look out for some reels, look out for some stories. We're going to keep you connected. I'm not just going to leave you there hanging. No, you are going to get something, but not a full length. But I really enjoyed having you in this season and understanding how to work best with you. So, cheerio, have a good week. Remember, family is important. Remember how to really find your space and not feel that you are a runaway guy or girl. You are just learning how to readapt with new environments to establish your own destiny. So, confer, communicate, and celebrate. Have a good month, have a good week, have a good celebration. God bless you.